Welcome to our fourth training session. This video covers users, groups, and permission rights. I hope to shed some light on the aspect of managing user access and permissions on a domain. A domain is just a network that all the end-user devices are connected to and everything inside the network topology. Users interact with the network based on permissions and groups that they have access to. This is where users share resources on the network, provided that they have the right permissions. Let's begin with an overview of this video. We will provide an introduction to user accounts, understand groups, permission rights, best practices, and tools and resources. Every interaction with a computer system starts with a user account. A user account is a unique identifier for an individual allowing access to the system. A user account usually includes a username, password, a user profile, and assigned permissions. Passwords make up the larger element of this area. It is often the central part of breaches and data compromise. Ensuring a strong password policy is key to maintaining security in any digital environment. This means establishing rules and guidelines for creating and managing passwords. Passwords should be complex, typically requiring a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Longer passwords are generally stronger. Policies should often mandate a minimum password length to enhance security. Encourage users to change their passwords regularly. This prevents the continued use of compromised passwords and reduces the risk of unauthorized access. Users should not reuse old passwords. Reusing passwords across multiple domains increases vulnerability. Always implement account lockout policies that temporarily lock a user out after a certain number of failed login attempts. This deters brute force attacks. Always promote the use of two-factor authentication. It adds an extra layer of security by requiring users to provide two forms of identification before granting access. Educate users about security best practices and show them how it is essential to preventing security breaches. Share real-world examples of security breaches and their consequences. This helps users understand the potential risks and how they play a part in maintaining security. Conduct simulated phishing tests to gauge users' vulnerability to phishing attacks and always provide feedback to all users involved. User groups are a collection of user accounts with common access requirements. There are two primary types of groups: security groups, used for permissions and access control, and distribution groups, used for email distribution lists. Using groups simplifies our user management, ensuring consistent access and permissions across the organization. Permissions define what a user or group can do within a system. Common permission types include read, which allows viewing but not modifying, write, which allows modification, execute, which allows running of programs or scripts, and full control, which provides full and complete access. Understanding inheritance is important for maintaining a need-to-know policy. ACL, or access control lists, specify who has what permissions on an object. This is how we keep users restricted to their own department or area of operation. Here are some best practices to follow. User groups for permissions, not individual users. Practice the principle of least privilege. Regularly review and update permissions. And document your permission structure. There are various tools available for managing permissions. Active Directory and PowerShell are great tools used by many large organizations. In conclusion, understanding user accounts, groups, and permission rights is fundamental for effective IT management. By following best practices and utilizing the right tools, you can ensure a secure and efficient computing environment for your staff and your organization. Remember, a well-managed user and permission structure is the backbone of IT security.